welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie Ellswood. If you are new here, welcome. So today's a bit different. I'm going to be talking about my teeth today. This is probably one of my most requested videos, and I can only apologise that it has taken me so long, and I promise that I will explain everything throughout this video. So today I'm going to be talking about my Invisalign journey, which I think I completed about a year ago, just over a year ago now. So again, I'm really sorry that it's taken me this long to do this, but I actually vlogged every step of the Invisalign journey and checked in every single week. And when it came to editing the footage, I was like, this is so boring. You don't want to watch someone changing their retainers every week and complaining about the same things. So I thought instead I'd do a piece to camera where I just break it all down, speak about everything in depth and incorporate little clips from that original vlog here and there. And then also I did a Q&A on my Instagram stories. So I thought I'd also answer some of those questions within this vlog too, rather than just throwing information at you. I thought it would be more beneficial to answer the questions that you guys actually asked. So these are my new teeth, and I'm going to explain everything from beginning to end and why I decided Invisalign and everything like that. But before I do need to also explain something else. So I didn't pay in full for my Invisalign treatment because my dentist is a friend of mine. It wasn't completely gifted, but I did get a discount, so I just kind of wanted to be really transparent about that. And since my treatment has finished, there is something called the Invisalign Smile Squad, which I am now very grateful to be a part of. And it was actually my dentist's idea to apply for it. And it's something that anyone can apply for if they're wanting treatment or if they've had treatment or anything like that. You can just apply on the Invisalign website. And I kind of did it for him because it will showcase his work and everything like that, and I will explain who my dentist is throughout this video in case you want to book with the same guy. So I applied, you just fill out a little form, and I got accepted. So I'm officially part of the Invisalign Smile Squad, which means this video is now an ad, and I'm basically sharing my experience with them. But I came on board with the Smile Squad after I'd had the treatment, and I was really happy with it, so I'm more than happy to shout about it, and was going to anyway, so I hope that clears everything up. So this video is an ad, but when I originally started my Invisalign journey, it wasn't. Does that make sense? I just wanted to be completely transparent about that. Anyway, back to the reason why you're here. I've got some notes here, so if I keep looking to the right, it's because I'm literally checking them to make sure that I don't miss anything out. Like I said, I wanted to reshoot this video, and this is why it's taken so long, because I didn't want it to just be really repetitive and boring. I wanted to keep things exciting and just have little snippets. I will show you a clip now of my old teeth. So this is the old introduction to the old vlog. I am so tanned because I just got back on holiday. I feel like I'm so transparent at the moment. Like, I am so pale. I blend into the background of this vlog. So I was a lot more tanned, and you can kind of see my old teeth. They were never bad. Like, my teeth were never bad, but I just had a lot of personal hang-ups. Like, no one had ever said you have bad teeth, or my dentist had never kind of said you need braces. But I think it must have come from just vlogging all the time or having my photo taken. There was a lot of overcrowding on my bottom teeth, and my top teeth were just uneven, and I feel like the way that they were made me look really young. I mean, I do look like a teenager anyway, which is frustrating sometimes, but I feel like my old teeth just made me look really young. So watch this clip and you'll kind of see my old teeth. Today is a very exciting day. I am getting my Invisalign fitted. Invisalign is basically an invisible brace that you wear that changes every week, and it slowly brings your teeth back into like however you want them to be. I wanted to document this because I've heard it's quite a painful experience. I've heard that it can be an uncomfortable experience, and I wanted to give you a really honest review of my journey, really. Like I said, this is something that I was researching for a very long time, because although my teeth are relatively straight, there's a bit of overcrowding. I feel like my front teeth are really big, and they're kind of something I've been insecure about for a while. I'm really excited, but also nervous. Let's go. So yeah, I'm not sure if you guys can see it. I feel like I'm very hyper aware of it because I see the difference now, but the work that I had done with my dentist and with Invisalign, I wanted it to still be natural, so it's not like a massive drastic change, but I do see a massive difference. Like, if someone uploads a photo on my birthday, I'm like, oh, all I see is my old teeth. But yeah, I'm really happy with the results, and I will elaborate further on what I've had done, my exact treatment and everything like that. So first and foremost, do your dentist research. Like, research into an ethical dentist that knows what they're doing, that's worked with Invisalign before, and that won't send you down a route that is either ridiculously expensive or hard to maintain. So like I mentioned previously, with all the work that I've had done, it's the minimal work possible because then that's the minimal maintenance. My dentist was amazing in that sense, and my dentist was Dr. Kanal Desai. He is amazing, like he's a friend of mine anyway, but he is a perfectionist, so you know you're in good hands. He's such a cool dentist. Like, I know it sounds weird, but he's such a cool laid-back dentist. I've always had massive fear of the dentist, and he's just cool, he's laid back, he makes you feel relaxed, and I looked forward to going to the dentist rather than fearing it. So choose your dentist wisely and make sure you're getting good advice. So the treatment that I had done lasted for about 14 weeks, and like I said, my teeth weren't necessarily awful before, so that's quite a quick turnaround for Invisalign. Every person is individual, so when you're watching this video, this is just the experience that I had, so you should always consult your dentist or Invisalign to find out a little bit more information, because the price will vary, the time will vary, the amount of treatment will vary, and everything like that. So mine ended up being around 14 weeks. I started with having 2 weeks of whitening before we even began, because my dentist was like, here's some teeth whitening, it's going to transform your smile, make you even more confident before we even begin, and it really did. So he fitted my teeth, which he had to do for Invisalign anyway. He gave me some trays, and then I just did the whitening at home, and it's proper whitening. You add like a little drop of whitening into each little tooth hole of the tray, put it in, sleep in it overnight, and I did that for 2 weeks. And I already felt more confident about my teeth and everything like that, so before we even began, I was happy. And then he gave me, I think he gave me 6 or 7 weeks worth of trays, and my routine was I changed it every Friday night, so I changed trays every Friday evening. And then I went for a checkup, and then I went back for my last few trays. After the Invisalign treatment was finished, I then had permanent braces put behind my teeth, so a little metal bar put behind my back teeth and my top teeth. You can't see it, but it helps to keep it in place. And then after that, you have to sleep in trays every single night, just to make sure that your teeth don't move, because even after braces, your teeth are still going to move. They're not going to glue there forever. So I'm being extra careful and just making sure that I sleep in my retainers to make sure that they don't move back to where they were before. So as much as this metal bar helps, your teeth still can move the metal bar as well. So I'm still going to sleep in my retainers. And I forget on the odd day, but I try and be religious with it. And then after that, I then had bonding on 2 teeth. So my teeth were all perfectly straight, but the 2 teeth next to my front teeth were a little bit shorter. So I just had bonding to extend those. And bonding is like, if you think about getting your nails done, it's like a little gel or acrylic on top of your actual nails. So it's not like a veneer where it goes all the way around your tooth. It's like a little white filling that my dentist used to kind of straighten and fix those teeth, and then he shaped it and stuff like that. Whenever someone says like, oh, your teeth are so nice, I'm like, oh, thanks, they're not mine. They are mine, but I've just had work done, if that makes sense. So they're all my own teeth still. They've just been whitened and then bonded on 2 teeth. Now, in terms of price of my treatment, it would have been £3,000 for the Invisalign, around £600 for the extra braces and retainers in terms of like the bar and the trays afterwards, and then bonding was £200 a tooth, I think. Yeah, it was around £200 a tooth. So for the full treatment, it would have been £4,000, which I know is like, that's so expensive. But I feel like I am such a smiley person. It is the best investment that I've ever made, because I get so excited because I just love my teeth now. Before, they were just a little bit goofy, if that makes sense. You can also, depending on your dentist and who you go with, you can pay for your Invisalign treatment in instalments. Because everyone is individual, you may have longer than 14 weeks, and you can pay for that in instalments over time so that it's more manageable and the payments are in kind of bite-sized chunks. So that is kind of what I've had done, and I think I'll move on to the questions that you guys have asked before I kind of tell you my top tips of what I would say moving forward if you are thinking about the Invisalign treatment. Okay, so cost I've already covered. What was the actual process of Invisalign? Okay, so I went for an appointment, and there's a machine that is so clever, and it takes loads of little photos of your teeth. You do a full scan of your mouth, and it scans it into a machine, so you can actually see a cartoon version of your teeth. I'll insert a little video here for you to watch. And then Invisalign kind of create a simulation of what your teeth will look like when they're finished. Now, this doesn't show the bonding or the whitening or anything like that, but it shows where they'll move to and the amount that they actually move, and it's fascinating to see. Then after that you get moulded. I'm not sure if you ever had gum shields fitted for sports as a kid, but you get this like jelly mould shoved in your mouth to take an imprint of your actual teeth, and then that gets sent off to build the trays, and Invisalign will make the trays from week 1 to week however long you need it for, and they will be created for you. So that was appointment 1. Then I went back to collect my trays from my dentist, and I was going away at the time, so I said to him I actually can't come in for, I think it was like 4 or 5 weeks or something, so he actually gave me 7 weeks worth of retainers. And at that appointment, when I went to pick them up, he also fitted what I call the little popcorns on your teeth. So to hold the retainers in place and to move your teeth in certain directions, you need to have little bubbles put on your teeth. I called them popcorns because they look like little popcorn kernels. It's quite an easy process, it's not super invasive. Your dentist will just put little things on certain points of your teeth. Also, on the day that I had my popcorns fitted, sometimes you need slenderizing in between your teeth, because if your teeth are going to move, sometimes you need to snip little bits off of teeth or level things out, just so that there's space to do that. Now, I was a little bit worried because, like I said, I didn't want a really invasive treatment. I was a little bit worried about filing down too much, because what if I hated the treatment and I wanted to stop it? I didn't want them big gaps in my teeth. And I spoke to my dentist about that, and he said, we will slenderize the minimal amount, and he really worked with me. I asked the question and he was like, yeah, okay, we can do this. So I got the minimal amount of slenderizing possible. So at the same appointment where he put on the digits, he also did the slenderizing and then gave me my trays, and off I went. Originally, when I first sent off my moulds to Invisalign, they came back and said that 5 teeth would need slenderizing. And I was a little bit wary of that, and I was like, I don't really want to file down my teeth. So we sent that back, and then they said, okay, how about just 1 tooth slenderized? And I was like, okay, perfect. And again, that was a bit uncomfortable because it was like a nail file in between your teeth. Didn't hurt, I didn't feel anything pretty much throughout the whole process, but just the sound of it was like really creepy. So to get the Invisalign off, he had like a really pointy stick, and he had to flick from the inside of my mouth at the top to flick it down. I literally felt like my teeth were gonna come off, and I was like, oh, my mouth was just like taped open. I was like, oh. He was like, you're fine. So that was a bit uncomfortable. But other than that, it was quite easy. It feels so weird. Then halfway through the treatment, about 6 or 7 weeks in, I went in for a checkup appointment and collected the rest of my trays. Then afterwards I went for a final review appointment, and then we discussed what I wanted moving forwards. Went away and did some more whitening, and then he did the bonding, and then I was done. You get moulds redone again for your final set of teeth, for your retainers that you're going to sleep in, and also for the bar if you decide to go down that route to put behind the teeth as well. So all in all, I think I had 4 or 5 appointments. Like, it wasn't loads considering I was getting 4 months worth of treatment. Like, it wasn't a lot, and I was really happy with the results. Does it hurt? Okay, so every time you change your trays, obviously the trays are then smaller. The first day or 2 is really, really painful, and then it subsides. And when you take your trays out to eat, your teeth do feel a little bit like jelly, feel really spongy. So I'd say it's only the day or 2 after you change your trays that it hurts. I've actually got a clip of the first time I'm trying to take them out, and it was such an alien feeling, and the first trays were definitely the most painful. So I'll let you watch that clip now. It's my first morning. I've woken up wearing my Invisalign, and I can't lie, it's a bit achy. I'm gonna pop them out for the first time. I'm really scared.
First time you pop them out?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Wow.
Are you going to be able to put it back in?
Ow! Ow! Ow. Oh. Oh, it really hurts.
Don't break them.
Oh. Oh. Oh, that was a horrible experience. Oh my lord. I've got to do the bottom ones now.
Yeah, well, they might be easier.
Ow. Ow!
They were easier.
They're achy. Feels weird. Oh, I don't like it. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't like this feeling.
It'd be worth it.
I hope so. I'll check in soon. I thought I had quite a good pain threshold, but the first day it was so painful. I was like, oh my god, I felt like it was pain in my forehead. But then you start to see the results and you start to see your teeth moving, and you're like, it's okay, it's all worth it. And I think also with my trays, my front teeth moved first in the first few weeks, and then my back teeth moved in the last few weeks, and when they started to kick in, that was like a really dull ache. Were you self-conscious when meeting new people? Do you know what? I was a little bit self-conscious just because I was hyper aware that I had something in my mouth, and they are relatively invisible. You can see them a little bit, but 9 times out of 10, unless you've had Invisalign, you probably won't recognise someone with it. I had a slight lisp, but not a massive one, so I was a bit self-conscious of that. And then also I think you can go one of two ways. So you can either get a lot of saliva in your mouth because you have something around your teeth, or you get really dry mouth, which is what I had. And I remember there was an instance when I was at a rugby game watching Lewis, and I walked through and I had loads of rips in my jeans, and some old man was like, "Oh, did you fall over?" And I was like, ugh. So I went to say something like, "Oh, really funny," and then my mouth was so dry that my lip got caught on my braces, and I ended up just going, "Ugh," and it was so embarrassing. And he was just like, "She is a crazy person," and I was like, "Oh my god," and I just ran away to the bathroom. I was self-conscious in that sense, but I wasn't like really insecure about it or anything. Do you eat and drink with it in? So no, you can't eat and drink with your trays, but you can take it out. And I think you're supposed to aim to leave your trays in for 22 hours a day, as close to 22 hours as you can. So that should be enough time to have like breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and a coffee. You just have to make sure you clean your teeth after you've eaten before putting the trays back in. Do you whiten your teeth with the Invisalign trays? So yes, I whitened my teeth before I started, and then with my final trays now, the ones that I sleep in, I whiten maybe once a month just to kind of keep that white glossy shine. But you just keep your whitening in the fridge, and then you can just use the trays that you already have. Like, you don't need one specific for whitening. But I would say if you're going to get your teeth whitened, don't fall for any cons on the internet of like whitening toothpaste or charcoal toothpaste or at-home whitening kits. Like, if you're going to get your teeth whitened, make sure you go to your dentist. Did they affect your speech? I had a slight lisp, and like I said, when my mouth was dry I found it hard to talk, but I wouldn't say it was really super uncomfortable to talk. Did food stay on the attachments? So the attachments that they stick onto your tooth, sometimes things like leafy greens and stuff I had to be really careful of, because sometimes I wasn't always able to clean my teeth straight away after eating. And I remember putting my Invisalign trays in once, and I went to the toilet to go and clean my teeth, and I looked and there was just like a big leaf of spinach in my trays, and I was like, oh my god, I hope I didn't smile at anyone. So sometimes it got caught, but 9 times out of 10 you should be cleaning your teeth straight after anyway, so you'd brush off any of that if it did stick to any of the attachments. Did you feel awkward kissing? Oh my god, yeah, I felt really awkward kissing. It took some getting used to, and it just felt weird, and I felt like it made my lips really low, but you got used to it. Like, they were in for 4 or 5 months, so I kind of got used to it in the end. Did you find that you lost weight? Now, I was a little bit reluctant to speak about this because obviously I've had a history with an eating disorder, and I know that a lot of my following on YouTube and Instagram may have had an issue with the same thing. But I think because you are planning your food around taking your retainers in and out, you don't pick as much. Like, I'm such a snacker, I'm such a grazer throughout the day, so I was having set meals and I wasn't picking because I was like, oh, if I eat that I have to go and take my trays out, and it's just awkward, and then I've got to brush them, and then I've got to floss and all of this kind of stuff, and it was just a bit of a hassle. So I think because I snacked less, I did lose a little bit of weight. But one thing it did teach me was my real hunger cues. It was actually quite nice to have awareness, rather than being like, oh, I should probably eat now. It was like, am I hungry? Can I be bothered to take out my trays and things like that? So I did lose a little bit of weight, nothing drastic, but it actually re-taught me about my hunger cues, which was, I think, a positive. Did you hate taking them out in front of people? Yes, like at meal times and things like that. If I was out for lunches or coffees with my friends, I did feel a little bit awkward. I think you just get used to it, and I just kind of made a joke out of it, and I'd be like, oh, I need to take my teeth out like they were dentures. And it's such a short space of time, like, well, for me it was anyway. It was only 4 months, so I got used to it and learned not to be awkward, so I never felt super uncomfortable. Can you drink coffee with retainers in? No, you can't, so that's why you need to clean your teeth straight after food, because any food or drink that gets on the Invisalign trays will stain your trays, and then they end up going yellow, and then if you put them in, then it looks like you have like really yellow green teeth. So you want to keep them as fresh as possible, so don't drink coffee with your Invisalign trays in. I think I've answered this. What extras did you get done? Whitening and bonding. What bonding did you have? Just the 2 teeth next to my big teeth, my front teeth. How many appointments did you have? Like I said, I can't remember for sure, but I think it was 1 before, 1 to get it fitted and pick up, 1 in the middle, 1 after, and then the finishing one to get the final things done, like the bar and the bonding and stuff. What are the main benefits of Invisalign? So obviously the main benefits are you get straighter teeth and they're all aligned and everything like that, and you don't have to have metal braces that are super obvious, which is great. But also I feel like I have a new respect and love for dental hygiene. I know this sounds crazy, but I'm so strict on flossing now, so strict on brushing, and I thought I was before, but now I'm like, I have just been through 4 or 5 months of treatment, and it's not cheap. I really, really, really want to make sure that my teeth stay the same way. So I'm religious with my whitening, I'm religious with my flossing, I'm religious with my brushing. I think the main thing that came out of the Invisalign treatment, obviously bar having nice teeth at the end, is the kind of awareness I have towards my dental hygiene. When did you start to see the results? So I don't think I saw the results for the first 3 or 4 weeks. I could feel them and I could feel my teeth moving, but I didn't physically see it until maybe 4 weeks. And then I remember taking those trays out and being like, oh my God, my teeth are already straighter. But you can kind of see your teeth moving, which is really exciting. Are you happy with the results? Oh my God, I could not be happier. Like, I'm just so happy. I feel like they've made my smile wider, if that makes sense. And I think I'm just very confident in my teeth now. And I feel like I can say that because technically they're not mine. Like, they are my natural teeth, but they're not the natural shape. So I can be like, oh yeah, I love my teeth. So yeah, I'm really, really, really happy with the results and I would recommend it to anyone. Would you recommend it? Yes. That was the last question. Yes, I would 100% recommend it. I also have some top tips that I'd love to share with you as well in case you are considering getting Invisalign. I think my top tip number 1 is choose a good dentist. There's a trend going around at the moment on TikTok and Instagram and things like that, and it's like young girls flying to Turkey to get veneers done, where you get your teeth filed down to like a toothpick and then like a crown put on. And yes, their teeth look amazing now, but they're like 17 years old. They're going to be needing serious dental care and dentures by the time they're 30. So finding a dentist that knew I wanted minimal work done and not trying to encourage me to get more. You want to get someone that actually cares about your teeth and your dental hygiene rather than just making a hefty profit, if that makes sense. So that's why I love Canal. Like, he was so supportive, and like any questions I had, he was really reassuring, or he was like, yeah, we can do this instead, or no, we can't do that because of this. And I felt like I really understood the process through speaking to him, which was really positive. My next tip would be change your trays at night time, because like I said, you get that dull ache when you first change them, and to have that done overnight whilst you sleep is so much better than to have it slowly get worse throughout the day whilst you're awake. So change your trays at night time. Retainer Bright is a lifesaver. So they're little capsules, tablets that you put in water and then you put your braces in, and it just keeps your Invisalign trays nice and clean and clear and invisible. My next top tip is order an extra retainer holder. So when you get your Invisalign, you get a really nice little posh black box that looks really cute, and you take this with you when you go to restaurants, when you go out, just to put your retainers in so they're safe and sound, because sometimes I had horror stories that people would wrap their Invisalign trays in a napkin in a restaurant, and then a waiter or a waitress would come over and clear away their retainers and throw them away. And to replace a retainer is quite expensive, so you don't want to be doing that. So always make sure you have a little tub with you. But also I had one for at home, so that would always stay in my bag, and then I'd have one at home that I'd use for when I take it out. And there was actually an incident where our work surfaces in my kitchen are all like dark granite, and I put my Invisalign trays down for like a second whilst I got a glass of water. No, I think I was having a coffee, and I put them down for a second, and then because they are so invisible, I couldn't see them, and I was running around like a mad woman. I was like, oh my God, have they been put in the bin? Have I thrown them away? And they were just sat on the dark granite and I just couldn't see it. So just make sure that you always put them in a tub, because otherwise they could get thrown away or damaged, and you just don't want to have to pay for the replacement of that. Another thing is Chewies are your friend. So when you get Invisalign, you'll be given these little like plastic things to chew, and that basically just makes sure that you're really putting the Invisalign trays right up, pushing against the teeth in the right places, and you just chew on them, and it just basically slots your retainers completely into place. So make sure you do that, because otherwise they might not be completely flush against your teeth. Also, hold on to your previous aligners. Say for example, you're on week 2, you've completed week 1 and you've moved on to the second set of trays. Keep hold of week 1, because say for example you lose your second set of trays that you're on, you've gone to a restaurant and they've been thrown away, you'll need to put week 1 back in just to make sure your teeth don't move loads, because obviously whilst those trays are being replaced, your teeth could move in that time. So always hold on to the trays before the ones that you're on. And then my last tip would be stick to your aftercare treatment. Like, I know so many friends who had train tracks at school and they just never wore their night retainers and they never really cared for their teeth afterwards. And it's one of their biggest regrets, because they had perfect teeth for a short while and then their teeth have moved. So just stick to your aftercare. It's not a lot of hassle. Sleeping in retainers is not the end of the world, but it just makes sure that your teeth stay straight and perfect and things like that. So that's everything that I was asked. If you do have any other questions, please let me know in the comments and I'll definitely reply and get back to you. But I honestly could not recommend it more, and I'm not saying this because I'm part of the Smile Squad, because I vlogged the whole process anyway and I was going to share my journey anyway, so I hope that it has been helpful. I'll link Invisalign and my dentist below in case any of you want to contact them directly. So thank you so much for watching. I feel like I've just rambled for like half an hour about my teeth, but I hope it has been helpful and insightful, and if you do have any other questions then please let me know below and I'll be back with another video very soon. Lots of love, bye!